Hi, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Guess who decided to join me for this React? Hi, Booger. Hi, baby. Normally, you guys don't get to see her because when I do my reacts in the daytime, she's curled up in bed underneath the covers, taking her little nap. But it's evening, and anybody who owns a cat knows that they are nocturnal. She likes to be up all night and keep her mother awake. And she has an obsession with waking me up at 3 in the morning. Don't ask me why, but she does. But there's Booger. Hey, Booger. So there's the Booger kitty. Here she is, hi girl. Look at the baby. Look at her. Yeah, so she's here with me. And I don't know how long she'll be here. But before I started this react, she jumped on my lap. So let me just go ahead and shift position. Make it easier for me to hold her because she's about 10 pounds. She's a big girl. She's a good girl. All right. So what's going on tonight? Well, what's going on is, I'm trying to keep warm because it's down to 30 degrees right now outside and I'm warm inside. B, I'm here to do a react to Chantal's latest video. Now, I've got some good news for all of you who are on my channel. Those of you that you share my view and we don't like to watch Chantal eat, really good news. The video that I'm about to react to, she's not eating at all. So thank the gods for that, right? So what is she doing? Well, she took a little trip to the doctor to get a diagnosis on her health to see where she was at. Although she didn't go to the hospital like she should have, because honestly, as serious as things are, she needs to go to the hospital. I mean, just going to a regular clinic, they don't have all the equipment needed to fully check her out. They don't have a scale to really gauge her exact weight, which is important if you're prescribing somebody medication because weight does play a factor in that. You need to know like how much someone weighs to know how much to prescribe and how often, all that stuff. So regular clinic, I seriously doubt they're going to have a scale that goes up to 600 pounds. And Chantal's well over 5. So she went to the doctor. She got some tests done. She showed the paperwork. And then she talked about what the doctor told her she needed to do. So I have so many thoughts on everything going on. And Booger might give her thoughts too. We don't like Chantal, do we, Booger? Yeah, you heard what she did to BBJ. You don't like it, do you? No. It's a good girl. All right. So aside from her video, there's some really great things said on Twitter. A lot of great tweets from people. I would like to show those first because some of them have a lot of wonderful information relating to the video. Because there's some paperwork shown in the video, and I'm like, what is all of that? I wasn't quite sure. Some of the wonderful people on Twitter were very happy to show that to me and explain. So we start here with Reality Check saying, holy crap, Chantal, this is your fasting number? So in the video, Chantal says that the number, her blood sugar number, that was after she fasted. By the way, Chantal, sleeping does not equal fasting. But Mama, if 4:30 is your fasting number, ooh, you in trouble, girl. You in big trouble. Back here in the Western world, if you showed up at a clinic or a hospital with that number, they would have you admitted. Absolutely. That's a dangerous number. Absolutely dangerous. How are you still walking around? Seriously. Moon Goddess Tarot says, where are the results for the liver enzymes? ATL, AST, ALP. Where is the creatine? There is missing results. I see the order was put in, but no results. Also, that microalbumin or MAB is more than she is letting on. If the doc was that casual, he sucks. Well, I don't know how they do things in that doctor's office. Maybe Chantal either A, did not want to show the results, or B, she just said, don't take those tests. Maybe she didn't want to pay for all the tests that could have been done. And if that's the case, Foodie, you're a fool. If your health is serious, you want to know how everything is doing, and neglecting some things and checking up on others is just dumb. Miss Anthropov says, what is censored is most likely her actual weight. Bet. Well, you could be right or you could be wrong, Miss Anthropov. Although, like I said, considering it was a clinic and not a hospital, I doubt they would have a scale that would go up to 600 pounds. You know, Foodie is well over 500. To gauge her actual weight, she will probably have to go to a hospital. Bye, booger. Because they would have a bariatric scale that could go up that high. But to a casual clinic, I don't think they'd have it. Trixie says she's such a liar. Her liver is not good. She didn't show those labs, but you can see an AST and an ATL faintly under this paper, and they both have big bold H's next to them. Well, let's see. I'm nosy. Yeah, it looks like there's some stuff like right here. So, like, what's going on, Foodie? Were you trying to hide stuff? I think you were trying to hide stuff. You're always trying to hide stuff. Perfectly Imperfect says, I can't believe they didn't admit her. This is scary. Well, scary and abnormal is her normal. But if she doesn't want to do anything about it, what can we do? Absolutely nothing. She's got the money. She's got the time. She could go to a hospital, check herself in. She could fly back to Canada and check into an inpatient facility. Is she doing any of that? No, absolutely not. And how much y'all want to bet that within 48 hours she's going to do another mukbang? And it's not going to be a healthy one. It's going to be the fast food. And I guarantee you, I know exactly what she's going to say. She's going to say, you guys don't understand. I have a problem with food. It's impossible to fix. I can't do it. I'm too weak. I don't have the willpower. Let me tell you something. There are lots of people across the world that have issues with food. They go from one side of it and they move to the other side by hard work, dedication, determination, learning different coping mechanisms, coping skills, correcting their diet, correcting their portion sizes, correcting their relationship with food, having respect for food versus using food as a cure-all for every problem. And if those people can fix themselves, so can you, Foodie. But first, you've got to want to, and I don't think you want to. I think you're perfectly happy letting everything that's wrong within you be profitable for you, and you have no intention of course correcting that. Truth is, says Chantal, Foodie Beauty has been slowly unaliving herself to death on camera for years with food. Remember when her nose used to just start gushing blood when she was streaming? Almost always after gorging on takeout food. She didn't care in 2020. She doesn't care now. Yeah, I remember that. God, that was so long ago. I totally forgot about this. That for a while, Chantal was getting frequent nosebleeds, and I'm like, what is going on? Why is she getting all these nosebleeds? A lot of people were thinking maybe it's because she's doing too much of the, you know, and that was causing them. So she got the nosebleeds for a while, and then they stopped. So it's just like they came out of nowhere, and then they stopped out of nowhere. It was just really, really odd. Really odd. Book Lady says she didn't post any liver function tests. No, she didn't. So how's your liver doing, Foodie? I bet it's not doing too well. You've had blood clots in your lungs. You have an enlarged heart. You have a severe, extreme fatty liver. You have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You have diabetes. I can't imagine that your liver would be completely 100% healthy. So why didn't you show the liver results? Perfectly Imperfect says, Foodie Beauty says her kidneys are fine, but a high MALB indicates kidney disease. She needs to go back to Canada ASAP. So there's the number. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. But that number does not look good. That does not look good at all. Jane C.W. Mom says, severe kidney damage can lower your blood pressure. That's why hers is a low MALB. MABL is a disease indicator. This is in no way good. Look, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know my way around anything medical like that. But she is unhealthy. I mean, you don't have to be a doctor to know that, to see that. It's just a matter of the doctor knowing just how bad it is versus all of us that we can't do the test on her. Nadia says, I think she got other bad news besides being told she has diabetes. Her eyes are all puffy because she was crying. Being diagnosed with diabetes shouldn't make you cry. Yeah, it does look like she's been crying. Maybe the doctor told her something much more severe that she just doesn't want to tell us. For years, Foodie's been obsessed with the idea of just getting one over on people. I mean, she's very defiant, and it's very important to her that she gives us all the middle finger. She doesn't want to admit when she's wrong, which is she's always wrong. She tries to act like she knows what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She tries to act like she's all knowledgeable about everything as far as nutrition and health. Clearly, that's not the case either. But she never admits when she's wrong. She can't swallow her pride and say, you guys were right. I was wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. My problems are completely over my head and I need help. She doesn't have a big enough throat to swallow her pride and to just say and admit all that. Hidden Truth says, since she said she's new there, does it mean all the other times she's claimed to go to a doctor, they were lies? And this is her first actual time she's gone since the first 10 months? Could be. Or maybe purposely, this is just speculation here, complete speculation. Maybe she and Salah don't go to the same doctor more than once to keep everything off the record. Maybe there might be some doctor shopping, maybe just going to clinics versus hospitals, because over in Kuwait, they are really cracking down on expats that have health problems, and diabetes is on the list. So to keep the Kuwaiti officials and government from knowing that she does have all these health problems and she might pose a strain on their healthcare system, they go to the clinics, they pay with cash, they kind of stand at the table about it. But to avoid getting caught, they don't see one doctor more than one time. So either this is the first time or they just go to different places one time and then circle back around. I don't know. But because that just sounds like something the Foodie would do. Pay under the table, stay under the radar. That way nobody knows what's going on with her. Foodie Beauty from Hidden Truth says, Foodie Beauty, I don't think her doctor understands her portion sizes. She said the doctor said she could only have a palm-sized portion of rice. Do you see this picture, Foodie? Do you see this right here? And this isn't even the biggest portion of rice we've seen her eat. You know, it went from that to an entire cake pan full of rice. The doctor told her The rice you should be eating for one portion is an amount that you can fit in the palm of your hand, not the amount you put in a pie tin. So how is foodie going to deal? From grazing on endless amounts of rice and carbs to the carbs can only fit in the palm of your hand. Well, we're going to see, aren't we? Okay, Moon Goddess Tarot says zoom in the missing liver enzymes. To the right, zoom in and see the H, which means high. She did not prove these results, as it proves her liver is in fact bad and proves her lies. Only lying to yourself is always, foodie. So, hold on. I can't really zoom in, but that's not good. It's not good. Your liver's all messed up. Book lady says she wants the meds to just fix it. This person left a comment saying, really surprised he didn't admit you to the hospital. Your organs can only take so much abuse. If you're able to get all this under control, you can't ever go back to eating like crap. You have to start caring about what you put in your body every single day. It's do or die. Glad you like the doctor. She says, I go back in a week to see if the meds are working. What about what he told you you're allowed to eat? Because you got to eat. He told you not only are you going to take the medication that he gave you, but you have to correct your diet. But that's something that a lot of people, doctors, nurses, friends, family have been telling you for years, that you have to fix your diet. You got to fix your portions. You've listened to no one. So what's going to be different now? You're standing at death's door saying, I just have to get into his house. Does that make the situation different? Are you going to be serious this time? Because I don't think you are. I really don't think so. I think the doctor visit was strictly for content and also to get some of your subs off your back because they are concerned for you. And that was your way of shutting them up so they would stop bugging you. And that's how you look at it, them bugging you. People being concerned for you, it's bugging you if it means you have to go out of the house and do something. But at the same time, you want those same people to be concerned for you when you want attention. So you want their concern if you want attention at the moment, but you won't take their concern and translate that to motivating yourself to care about yourself. So, yeah, you're going to take your meds, are you? Well, what about the portions of food? We'll get another mukbang in 48 hours, I promise you. Mr. Michael B. Petty says, Foodie Beauty having a fasting blood sugar level of 430 is absolutely bonkers. And I really don't understand how the doctor did not insist on hospitalizing her for something like this. Not to mention her weirdly low blood pressure, considering her history of severe hypertension. Yeah, over here in the Western world, they would have put her in the hospital stat. I don't know why she didn't go to the hospital. Maybe because she can't afford it. Maybe because she's not a resident and she doesn't have health care over there. Who knows? But over here, they would have said, your butt's going in the hospital, foodie. Don't argue, just go. Flashing Pondu says, this is not good for her. She's very close to developing kidney issues and serious diabetes complications. Oh, oops. What? Why did it go up here? All right, we're going back. Hold on, I'll find my place again. We're almost there. Almost there. I hate when it does that. Okay. All right, because I saw this paperwork in her video, and I'm not a nurse, no, I'm a doctor, no, am I any kind of medical professional. I'm like, what do these numbers and letters mean. So WBC is white blood cell. And there's a note here saying immune system issues. The other note is saying slightly high for her age. HGB is hemoglobin count. That's oxygen carrying component of red blood cells. The note here is low oxygen levels in her blood. Yikes! It's slightly high. What else we got here? Let's see. GRBS is general random blood sugar, and hers is double the normal range. MALB is micro. I can't see the writing. Sorry. It's showing early signs of kidney disease. So all of her organs are screwed. Every single last one of them. Her heart, her lungs, her kidneys, all of it. All of it. There's not a single major organ in her body that isn't screwed up. Heart, lungs, kidney, liver. They're all screwed. Every single one of them. Every single one. Here's an interesting tweet from Katie saying, why would doctors ask if you were pregnant multiple times? Did you not tell them that you've had a hysterectomy? Why would that be? Is it because you didn't want to have to tell Salah? Does Salah still not know? I don't know. But considering the fact that he and Foodie are not getting physical, it really doesn't matter. He's not getting physical with her anyway. I don't think he had any kind of plans to have kids with her. He's not attracted to her. He's not touching her. Ain't no clothes coming off. But it wouldn't surprise me if she did hide that fact about herself from him. Not that there was any chance of them actually having a family together. He would never with her. Miss Anthropo says, imagine being this much of a baby for just a urine test. She's never going to be able to handle insulin shots every day, which is just the reality. Go home, Chantal. What are you trying to prove? That's a good question. What is she trying to prove? At this point in time, what is she trying to prove? I don't know if she's trying to prove anything. I think it's just her long ago giving up everything in her world for Salah. Like she went all in for Salah. And he is the only thing that she has left to hold on to. She doesn't even have her health. She just has him. And she doesn't want to go home to Canada. Because if she does, she can't take him along. So she's going to stay by his side and make herself miserable and make him miserable just to say, where's your husband? Well, where's yours? He doesn't love you and he's not there. He doesn't care about you, so what's the point? Perfectly Imperfect says, I mean, Foodie could have filmed her weight at the doctor and made us all eat crow, unless... Yeah, she's never going to tell us her true weight. Foodie, I know without even looking at a scale, you are 550 pounds. Or 525. You are over 500, ma'am. Prove me wrong. Go to a doctor's office, a real doctor. Go to a hospital. Go. Get on a bariatric scale that can go up to 600 pounds and show your true weight. Bet you won't. Stop messing around with those home scales. They're not strong enough to show the true weight. Go to an actual hospital that has a bariatric scale. I bet you're over 500. I bet you are. And that's exactly the reason why you keep messing around with your own home scale and you will not go and show the scale at a doctor's office, because that'll give the true weight, and then you can't lie anymore. Oh, this is a clip from the video from Perfectly Imperfect saying they totally didn't read her blood pressure correctly. At this point, I'm wondering if Allah is her doctor. Sounds like a quack.
I was like, what? And the doctor took my blood pressure and it was like 110/82. I was like, what? Are you sure?
Yeah. There are two things that are constant with Foodie. Foodie lies and then Foodie tells on herself. Again, I'm not a doctor. I wasn't in the doctor's office. I don't know what they did. I don't know what the true results are. She lies so much. How do we know what's true and what's false? She might be lying right here. She might be telling the truth. It's a shame that we can't trust her word, but that's how things are with her. But if it is true, something doesn't sound right. You know, the math ain't mathin'. If she's got extremely high blood sugar, like really high, why would the blood pressure be low? Now, other people on Twitter are saying that might be an indicator of kidney disease. I don't know. Like, I'm not a doctor, but the math ain't mathin'. Like, it just sounds weird. Really weird. Perfectly Imperfect says her A1C is 10.4. Holy crap balls. Normal is 4.8, 5.9. Oh. All right. So here you go. Here's some paperwork for you. Diagnosing diabetes. According to the American Diabetes Association, normal, less than 5.9. Pre-diabetes, 5.9 to 6.4. Diabetes, 6.5% or higher. Hers is 10.4. She's way over that. She's way over that. So once upon a time, you talked about diabetes, then you claimed that you cured it, then it came back. So I guess you haven't cured it, can you, Foodie? You haven't cured your diabetes. And this is exactly why no one should be watching Foodie's videos and taking any medical advice from this woman. She is not a medical professional. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She spreads misinformation. If you're someone you have any kind of serious ailment, don't look towards Foodie for advice or knowledge or wisdom. You will get none. More than likely, she will tell you something that is untrue. So value your health and find people and seek out people and resources that can give you facts and information that are true and that can help you. Don't look at her. If she knew what she was talking about, she would not be 500 plus pounds and sick. She's very, very sick and only getting worse. Don't take information. Don't take any advice from Foodie. Don't look at her as an inspiration. Just don't do it. Okay, this is a really great comment from Creepy Corner. Creepy Corner says, Foodie, you need to stop with crying to attention with your food problem and get help. You are sick for getting paid for the addiction. Yes to that. Agreed. This is sick and you shouldn't be paid for eating on the platform. You are eating yourself into a soon DEATH. And I don't like that others with an eating problem think it's okay to get paid for this gross behavior. Agreed. You are aware of the problem. That means you are responsible for getting help, you lazy piece of crap. Well, YouTube, your move. It's your platform. Didn't you guys make policies against this crap? You did. And you insist that everybody on the platform has to follow the rules, right? So why haven't you stepped up to the plate and reinforced the rules? Unless the rules are just words on a piece of paper to make the advertisers feel more comfortable so that they will put their ads on your videos so that you can make money. You know, it's just all for show, right? Is that what this is? It kind of looks like it. Because look what Foodie's doing and you're not stopping it. And you could grind it to a screeching halt. You're not doing it. So Yeah. Yeah. It's just, the rules are basically a joke for some people. That's how foodies treat him, as a joke. All right. What else we got here? Oh, that's a great picture of Foodie. There she is. There she is. All right. Where are we going? Well, we're going to switch over to the actual video, and I'm going to give my thoughts, and trust me, I got a lot of them. Let me just make sure that I am where I need to be. There it is. And by the way, Foodie, in the past, you complained about not having a private life, right? Right. You said, I need a private life. I need to keep things private. Going to the doctor for serious medical problems, I would think that would fall under the category of things you'd want to keep private. Like when you go to the doctor, it's just about going to the doctor, talking to the doctor, and getting an evaluation or getting treatment. But it's not the place you want to whip out your camera and turn it into YouTube content. But when you do things like this, when you decide to turn something personal into public content, later on down the road, when people say, the reactors or their audience or your audience, if anybody comes forward and says, well, you should take better care of your health because you went to the doctor recently and they didn't have good things to say, you can't come back and yell and scream about it. You really can't. You choose to take things like this and put them online. So by putting them in the public eye, the public has a right to comment. If you make the first move, don't complain about other people coming forward and making a move after that, you see? Like this whole visit to the doctor could have stayed private. But she purposely did this just to have content. And all it does is A, make her look more foolish. B, make her subs feel much more concerned. And as I said previously, that's exactly what she wants. She's trying to find any and every way to keep people tuned in to her content. So how does she do that? By keeping the focus on herself, keeping the concern on herself. She wants everyone to be concerned for her, to be worried for her. She wants people to be stressed out. She's not doing anything to take the stress off. And why is she doing it right now? Because this month and next month are the highest paying months of the year for monetized YouTubers. So she's just grabbing at whatever money she can get her hands on. And Salah's not going to let her rage. So instead of using rage to make money, she's using worry. It's a really sick system, if you ask me. But let's get started with the video, shall we? Okay, already you can tell that she's not taking this seriously. She has to know how sick she is. Look at the smirk on her face. She thinks this is funny. Do you really think this is funny, Foodie? Truly, do you think this is funny? Being 500 plus pounds, having all the health problems you do, this is just a joke? Well, we'll see, won't we? Oh, look at her. Oh, look at the poor little Chantal. She's not liking the fact she has to pee in a cup. Well, if you didn't eat takeout 3 times a day, you wouldn't have to pee in a cup now, would you? When it comes to your health, either you pay now or you pay later. So you made it your business to turn getting unhealthy into a business. Now you got to pay the price.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be my experience at the doctor's. I said I was going to get checked out. I wanted to have some blood work done to see what my, what's it called? Is it HbA? Is it A1C? um, I'm gonna have my blood work results in this video for you coming soon. So I'll tell you my experience in detail, how it went, how much it cost here for healthcare, and then I'll show you my results. So we went pretty early in the day, and
Before you say another word, Chantal, can I just save you the trouble? Nobody cares what time of day you went to the doctor's office, and nobody cares how much it cost you. Those things are of absolutely no interest to us. What everybody wants to know is, what did the doctor say? How bad is it? Because you know it's bad, and we know it's bad. We just don't know how bad. And considering the things I saw on Twitter, it looks pretty freaking bad. But no one gives a crap about how much you had to pay to go to that clinic or what time of the day you started out to go. I mean, just cut all that fluff out.
now you can choose private healthcare. There's so many private healthcare hospitals, clinics here. And there's also there's I think like a couple hospitals or clinics that are just for Kuwaiti people, the Kuwaiti population, and then there's public sector.
Ma'am, you are not a Kuwaiti citizen. You're not a natural citizen. You're not a resident. That means you cannot take advantage of any kind of health care there. That's for their citizens. Even if you went back to Canada, as I understand it, you couldn't really benefit from the health care there either because you've been away too long. So is that why you didn't go to the doctor at the hospital? Because it would be expensive and it would be a lot more pricey and you just can't afford that right now? And the fact it would also be on record that you have diabetes and complications from diabetes, and that's something that that country is cracking down on as far as the expats. That's why everything's being done under the table.
We prefer, nothing against the public sector hospitals, but we prefer to go private and just pay the money. Like when you go private, you pay
I
out of
don't think,
pocket.
I don't think it's a we, I think it's a you. I don't think Salah cares one whit whether he goes to the clinic or the hospital. I think you care though, because that has to do with your visa. And maybe he cares just a little bit because you're the one who's giving him all the money and paying his way. So maybe he cares just for that, but he cares for nothing else beyond that. But you care, not him.
Like I might look into, because the health insurance here covers the public sector, like the healthcare you get here as an expat, but the level of healthcare is just different in a private sector. And being from Canada, private healthcare is not something we really had access to. It was mostly public. So,
Ma'am, Pepperidge Farm remembers, and we remember too. We remember clearly that when you were back in Canada, you were abusing the healthcare system. Whenever you got in trouble, Whenever people would get mad at you, you would schedule an ERBs. The emergency room, they saw more of you than what they really should have. But you would abuse the healthcare system by going into the ER constantly for no random reason other than the fact that you wanted people to feel sorry for you.
like hospitals and that. So yeah. So I went to a private clinic and it ended up costing a total of 44 KD. I think 44, 47. I'll have to check. And I'll put the conversion here somewhere.
What did I say earlier? When it comes to your health, you either pay now or you pay later. So you gorge yourself stupid on fast food. And look, you paid a 207 Canadian dollars that you probably wouldn't have had to pay had you taken care of your health, Chantal. And if you end up in a hospital, which you probably are at some point, it's going to be a lot more expensive than $207.
For you guys, so you know how much that is roughly. Not too bad, for a blood test. And I'll tell you what else I got. So, okay, so we arrived there maybe around 11:30 a.m. And I had been fasting, and I get to the counter and
Okay, so you guys saw her fasting blood sugar numbers in the 400s. That's insane. I don't believe that Chantal could fast. Number one, even if she went to bed, more than likely she went to bed with a full stomach. So she's not really truly fasting because she goes to bed with a full tummy. While she's sleeping, your body is digesting the food. And it's doing it slowly because you're not active, you're not moving around. So you can't really look at that as fasting. You can't say I'm fasting when you load up on like 6,000, 7,000 calories that are moving slowly through you while you're lying still. Your body's not going without anything. It's got a full tank. So even if she ate that big meal that like she did yesterday with the subs and all that, and then she went to bed, if she woke up and went directly to the doctor's office and her blood sugar was in the 400s, that's crazy. That is crazy. That means you're doing it wrong, Chantal.
tell the lady, what I need to. I said I'm kind of dizzy because I was, and I've been testing my blood sugars and they've been really high. So
What is the point of testing your blood sugars, though? What is the point of using the monitor? What is the point of coming on YouTube and talking about your diabetes if you're not going to go all the way with getting it under control? It's the same thing with your problem with food. You come on YouTube and you talk about your problem with food. You talk about your struggles, although I call BS on that because you're not struggling. You're not fighting against it. You give in to the bee monster every chance you get. But using the monitor and talking about the diabetes and making a big spectacle of it, at the same time, you're not willing to change your diet. You're not willing to eat the smaller portions. You don't want to go for the healthier food. You'll talk about diabetes in the next video you do after that. It's a freaking mukbang. So again, I ask the question, what is the point? Why are you making a big deal out of it like you're concerned about it when clearly you're not? Is it because you just need content, Chantal? Is that what's going on? Is that what we're doing today? You desperately need new content ideas. So, you're playing tag with diabetes and say, tag, you're it for the moment. It would seem so.
she said, okay, well, we have a doctor here who specializes in diabetes and things like that, and it's the internal medicine doctor. So the consultation with the doctor cost 7 KD, and then
Again, we don't care. Why are you telling people the cost of things? We don't care. We don't care how you spend your money. We don't care how much you spend, period. Why are you bringing up these silly, stupid details that nobody asked about, Chantal?
um, we went up to the level where the doctor was, and we were seen pretty much almost immediately. There was not really any wait at this clinic, which is really awesome, which I find is the case with private clinics. The wait is a lot less. So the doctor was really nice, really, really nice. And he had a nurse there, and they took my blood pressure. Now, this is something I find a little unbelievable because my blood pressure has never been this low. As like, they use a really big cuff, and the doctor took my blood pressure, and it was like 110/82. Um, I was like, what? Are you sure? So I almost felt like asking if he could take it again because that's really strange. Now, maybe because I was
Chantal, at your level of poor health, and it is extremely poor, I know you're trying to cheap out. You're trying to cut corners. You're trying to take the cheap way out and go to a clinic versus a hospital because hospitals are expensive. And yes, you do have to sit in a waiting room. And yes, you have to wait your turn. You're very impatient. But at your extreme level of poor health, you need a hospital. Only a hospital could give you the proper amount of care that you require. They could do absolutely every single test needed, all of them, inside and out. A clinic can only do so much. A hospital could do much more. But you're being stupid and cheap. You don't want to go to a hospital because they're going to do more and they're going to tell you more, and it's going to be more bad news that your ears just don't want to hear. Plus, maybe you're afraid that all of your problems will be on record, and that will cause problems with you getting a visa later. This is what happens when you try to escape your problems and run from your problems versus fix your problems. Eventually, you run out of places to run to, and your problems catch up with you anyway.
fasting. I don't know. But he said that's normal. So he said that's good. I know you're going to be like, yeah, right. That was my reaction too. But who am I to argue with the doctor, right? So then he wanted, talked a bit about my background, my medical history, told him about my operations, about all this and that, just really nice doctor, really not rushing, really seemed.
I bet I know what you didn't tell him. I bet you did not tell that doctor, oh, by the way, doc, I have a really, really severe issue with food. I have a very severe, extreme BED that is completely out of control. That bee monster is the size of Godzilla. But wait, it gets better, Doc. Wait. I took that Godzilla monster and I gave it a job. It makes me money on YouTube. It's made me thousands of dollars. Yes, I have all these health problems, but check it out. I've taken my issues with food and I've turned a profit off of all of it. So you can give me all this medical advice that you want to, but in 2 days, I'm going to do another mukbang. Did you tell him all that? Did you? I bet you didn't. I bet that the issue of your BED did not come up. You kind of left that part out. That and the fact that you use your BED to make money on YouTube.
Seemed interested in talking to, me about my history. Another thing I find that doctors tend to do more in a private clinic. I don't know, but yeah. So talked to him for a bit. Then he ordered some blood tests. So I will insert the blood work here, the results, the test, and that was requested, and the results. I'm going to blur out private information, obviously, but here you go.
Okay, like I'm freeze framing it for anybody that is in my audience. You might be a doctor, you might be a nurse. Maybe you're used to looking at things like this. I have no experience with this. I don't know what any of this means. But we saw this stuff from Twitter, so that explains some of it. Yeah, like these numbers don't look good though. I mean, I'm not a doctor and they do not look good at all, especially that one. Yikes. Yikes, Foodie.
I also had to do a urine sample, like, like pee in the little cup thing. And then we had to wait about an hour, and the results were in just shy of an hour. So we took them back to the doctor after going to the lab. It was all in the same clinic, which is nice. Took them back to the lab, to the doctor, who saw us right away, looked at the results. And actually, I forgot to mention, when I was doing the blood work, they picked my finger to take a blood test. It was 23 point something. It's on the results. It was like 23, okay? So that's really high, 23 mmol. And so I'll try to convert that into mgdl for you. But the test results...
Like, look, I don't have much in the way of knowledge about diabetes. This is kind of like out of my ballpark. But some people on Twitter have said that if 414 is her resting, fasting blood sugar, she needs insulin. And that would help a great deal. So take what you will with that. But I'm honestly wondering that before Foodie went to the doctor, that she had herself a little snack, like a coffee or a candy bar. We know she's got those candy bars in the doggone house. That, she thought, I'll just have a little bit of something, and that made her blood sugar spike badly. And that's why her reading looks like that.
Came back, and there was a couple of problems. Pancreas, liver, everything he said was fine.
I don't believe that. I don't. Her heart, her lungs, her liver, they're all messed up. All of her organs are messed up. How could the others not be messed up?
But the A1C was 10. So I think 10.1. So that's pretty high. I have to get that down. So they did diagnose me with diabetes, officially, even though I knew because my blood sugar levels were so high. And then there's this thing here. It's like MALB, MALB, which is something in the urine. Apparently, the normal range is like 0 to 20, but mine was like 92. So this, he said, had to do with...
Girl, you're over there peeing salt. You need to stop eating all that pickled stuff, all that salty stuff, and that big container of Himalayan salt you just bought. Throw that in the trash. That's got to go. It sounds like you don't need any more salt. You're literally peeing salt.
Something being in the urine that has to do with eating way too much salt. So salt in certain foods. So
lady, listen, it's not salt in certain foods. If the salt in your urine is that high, you're practically taking a salt container and just shoving it down your throat. There's no reason why it should be that high, other than the fact that you're just going crazy with the salt. Cut it out.
Immediately after that, he told me to eliminate certain foods, and you guys are going to be keto people, are going to be keto lovers, are not going to want to believe this, but this doctor told me to not eat any eggs, red meat, cut that out.
Okay, so that eliminates a lot of the things that she just got in that grocery haul. All the grass-fed burgers, bye-bye. Can't have those. Himalayan salt later. I'm laughing because she just had that grocery haul of, her groceries versus his. A lot of the stuff, can't eat it now. And no more doing the 1 meal a day diet. That's out. Can't use that as an excuse to do your mukbang. So what have you got left, foodie?
Eat mostly fish, chicken, and vegetarian. Like, you know, uh, mostly vegetables, like this much. Like this much, he showed me with the hands, like this much vegetables on your plate. This much for your palm. So you do this thing with your palm. It shows you how much rice you can eat. So this plus a half of this. Um,
Anybody believe she's going to stick to that? The doctors show foodie that when she eats the carbs, it's the amount of rice you can put in the palm of your hand. That's how much in the way of carbs that she needs. Anybody think she's going to stick to it? Because I don't. Foodie's going to turn that around and twist that of, oh, you mean like how much rice I can scoop up in my hand and put in my mouth? Is that what you meant? No, that's not what he meant. That's not what he meant at all. You don't need as many carbs as you think you do, foodie. Especially being sedentary. You don't move. You're not active. You're not doing any kind of high calorie burning job. You don't need that much carbs. All that carb loading that you've been doing lately is ridiculous and you need to stop. It's stupid. It makes no sense. But the doctor showed you like just a little bit of rice in the palm of your hand. Not a pie tin, not a cake pan full of rice. Just enough to put in the palm of your hand is all you're going to need. But do I think she's going to stick to it? Nope. Absolutely not. Because what the doctor tells her to do and what she should do is going to be clashing with what the bee monster tells her to do. She knows what she needs to do, but then the bee monster is going to be quiet, right? The bee monster, it starts whispering in your ear about 6, 7 o'clock at night. And as it gets later, it gets louder. And it starts putting those thoughts in your head saying, hey, it's late. I know you're feeling a little bit snacky. Wouldn't it be nice to have a nice hot pizza with a tomato sauce and the mushrooms and pepperoni and the cheese? Wouldn't you just love that? Wouldn't that be great? You were good today. You had the fish. You had the salad. You were drinking water. You've been a good girl. Why not reward yourself? Yeah, you deserve it. Yeah. Yeah, those thoughts are going to happen. And she's going to give in because she's going to agree with those thoughts. She's not going to try to fight against them or argue against them. She's going to give in. So what the doctor tells her and what the bee monster tells her, well, the bee monster is going to win.
so yeah, I can eat that much rice, which I know you guys are going to be like, what? It raises your glycemic index. I guess mixing it with the vegetables, which have a lot of fiber, kind of slow down the spike of sugar. I don't know, but what can I say? I went to a doctor, and this is what he told me: chicken, fish. He wants me to eat fish 3 times a week. Um, some chicken and vegetarian meals, like maybe beans, stuff like that. Because he doesn't believe in like something. He likes like lower fat food. So like um basically I have to eat very bland, he said, because like the salt level and things, I have to be very, very careful because this can lead.
You know, I don't know if this will work for you, foodie. I don't know how this will work with you being a diabetic, but I would think that getting little seasoning mixes like Mrs. Dash would add more flavor to food to where you don't really miss the salt. There's lots of no salt seasoning mixes out there.
Need to my kidneys were fine now, but this in your urine can lead to kidney problems down the line from eating way too much sodium. Plus, being diabetic can definitely damage your kidneys. So,
Ma'am, you are peeing salt. The sodium in your urine, that's not normal. What do you mean you don't have kidney problems? All that salt in your kidneys, there must be something wrong.
um, so basically, he just yeah. I said, okay, what about like, because I asked him at first, like, what, how should I be eating, for this? Because should I be eating keto, like very low carb? And he said, no, like really right away, like, no, don't do keto. It's very unhealthy. And I was like, oh, okay.
Like, Foodie's blood is practically pancake syrup, and she's peeing salt. You're screwed up. Like, I'm not laughing at diabetes. I'm laughing at her stupidity, her prolonged stupidity. Like, she drove herself to this point. She allowed it to happen, even when tons of people came forward and said, you need to stop. And you don't need to be afraid that if you change up your content, that we will disappear. We are here for you. You don't have to do these things to your body to keep us around. We are here for you. And yet she continued to do it because it gave her such a kick to think, I can get on YouTube and eat a meal and make money. Yeah, but at what cost? 100% of your health. So was it a smart move to do that? No, because look how you're paying now, idiot. Your blood is practically pancake syrup and you're peeing salt out the other end, moron.
So yeah, he's like, you can eat carbs, but limit them and make them like healthy carbs, like whole grain. You can have one slice of whole grain toast a day, kind of thing. Um, like something really good for breakfast would be whole grain toast with some beans or something. But fruit, I can have very like a limited amount, maybe like one pear, half of,
You know what that
you
you know
know,
what that means, foodie? You know what that means? Limited fruit? Bye bye juice boxes. Bye bye all those bottles of juice. They got to go in the trash. Or you got to give them to somebody. You can't drink that no more. Can't happen. All those candy bars, later. Can't have those either. Practically everything that was on that table from the grocery haul is now canceled. Unless it's not. Unless you want to hang on to it and eat it off camera where you won't get yelled at and screamed at for it, which will probably happen because you just can't bear to waste food, even if it's junk food. But all those fruit juices, can't do that on YouTube no more. Or your subs are going to yell at you.
whatever, an apple, but like wait a couple of days for my blood sugars to regulate. Um, so because he's put me on medication, I'll get to that in a minute. So that's basically what happened. Um, it was a pretty decent experience. Like, I felt well taken care of. It was affordable, in my opinion. I mean, kinda. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. So I really have to really, 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 really do this. Um,
How many times have we heard that though? How many times? Too many. Too many.
oh, after my blood test and everything, he ordered a shot of insulin to try to bring the sugar down. And I went down to the nursing station and they picked my arm with an injection of insulin. I don't know how much, but I don't know. I don't think it worked because I took my blood in the evening And I mean, I was like fasting for a few hours because I had some chicken and a few vegetables for lunch at around 1:30. So that's my lunch with a little bit of hummus, homemade hummus, and I didn't eat again. I didn't eat anything, and because he was like, "I want you to be on like a regimen." I'm kind of all over the place. I'm like remembering tidbits of information, and I'm really tired because it's late. But he's like, "I want you to eat between 7 and 9 a.m. for breakfast. Never skip breakfast. Noon to, around 12 to 1 for lunch, and then dinner, um, no later than 8 p.m. Like finish all your eating by 8 p.m. or so. And
So basically, he's telling her you have to eat like a normal person. You know, eating 3 meals a day, foodie. You got to eat like a normal person. You got to get up in the morning, have some breakfast, have lunch, have dinner. Can't eat past 8 p.m. because, you go to bed, you're going to have an empty stomach. Eating like a normal person. You know what that means, though, right? That means no more staying up at night till wee hours in the morning. You got to fix your sleeping schedule to where you're sleeping and you can be up at 7 a.m. to get some breakfast. No more late night snacking. No more late night snack beezing. Oh, and I did notice the doctor said he didn't mention snacks. So that's out. No more snacking. No more grazing. Can't do that.
then don't eat again till the next day. So um, after my lunch, I just didn't. I slept for a while and didn't feel like cooking anything, and now it's like kind of too late, so I have to wait till the morning. So my blood sugar, when I tested it not long ago, like maybe an hour ago, and it's like maybe 11 at night, it was 239, like the same. Now insulin takes a while to.
Oh, hold on a second. So your blood sugar reading started out at 414. And then when the insulin went down to the 200s. Yeah, I would say the insulin worked. I would say it worked. It did its job.
to work, right? I mean, it's not just one injection. I don't know. So maybe what I had for dinner, I don't know. For lunch, I'm not sure. But
I just had a really scary thought. It just popped into my head. I'm going to share it with y'all. Whew. I hope this doesn't happen. But if Foodie does have to start taking insulin, she has to give herself the insulin injections. And this is so morbid, but it is so Foodie that if she had to take insulin and give herself the injections, and that would help to regulate her blood sugar, what are the chances that if she did that, if she took insulin and it lowered her blood sugar, would she twist that around to where she would, if she did something to make her blood sugar spike and then take the insulin to lower it back down, she would look at that as the perfect excuse to have a bee moment and eat the sugary foods, because she would look at the insulin as a quick fix. I'm not a diabetic. I don't know if that's possible, but it's just she always looks for a shortcut and a way to do what she wants. So I hope that's something that she will never do. Manipulating insulin just so she can have a bee moment, but it's something that she might do. And that's a great look, Foodie. That is fabulous right there. I didn't even see it till right now. You stay right there. Don't move. That's great. I must say, Foodie, you should be a model. You should be a model. I love how you model for me for my thumbnails. Thank you so much. Let's go.
um maybe my pancreas is just damaged and I'm eventually going to need to be on insulin. I don't know. I hope not.
You know what? I'm not a doctor, but I would say all of your major organs are effed, majorly, royally effed. It's not a question of if they're damaged. Now it's a question of how badly they're damaged and how much life they got left in them. Like, how critical is the situation? Like, how much damage have you done on the inside of yourself? Only a doctor at a hospital would know that. A doctor at a clinic might get an idea, but a doctor at a hospital would have a much better idea because they got better equipment to check you out.
But um, I have to go back on Monday for a follow up and I have to record my blood sugars before I go. You know, he put me on, I can't, my medication's in the other room, but he put me on like something that's like sort of like metformin, but it's not. It's like a mix of diabetic drugs, it's tablets. And he put me on some kind of other pill that's gonna like, it's like a blood pressure pill, but it's like, he said sort of just like a just in case kind of thing for the, it's supposed to like help with the sodium level in my urine. I don't know how, but anyway.
You want to help with the sodium level in your urine. Stop eating all that pickled crap. Throw out all the salt. Stop putting salt on everything. That would probably help a lot. I'm sure the medication would be great, but the medication plus being mindful of what you eat would be even better. Yeah. Yeah. Cut down on the sodium.
So that's that. That's pretty much, I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. Pretty much my visit from start to finish at the private clinic here. Um, Usually, when I would go for healthcare, I've been a couple times to the public sector clinic, and then I went to a private clinic, and then we liked that a lot more. You're just in and out, you know, like you're just, I don't know, the level of care is just different. So now we chose to go to another private clinic, and yeah, that's about it. So um, I don't know if you have any questions. I can try to answer in the comments. But that's my experience with the healthcare in Kuwait, and this is definitely was not fun. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I got asked if I was pregnant.
By the way, well, of course they're going to ask you if you're pregnant. I mean, I've heard that obesity is a thing in Kuwait, but I'm pretty sure there's not people that are 500, 600 pounds over in Kuwait. That's something you don't see every day. But before she said that, something that I would like to say to all of foodie subs. So she did this video, right? She showed her visit to the doctor. She even showed the paperwork. Foodie's gone on record as saying that she needs a private life, that she wants to have a life off of YouTube and to keep some things personal. I would think that this visit to the doctor would qualify as something to keep personal, keep it private. But she chose not to because she wants it to be made into content that she can make money off of. So she decided to put all this stuff on the table, all these personal details, showing us the paperwork, the results. Now, later on, when all of you that are on her channel, when she does a mukbang, and trust me, she will, and you get in her comments and you say to her, how can you do this to yourself? You just went to the doctor. They diagnosed you with diabetes. You said you were peeing salt. Your blood sugar is right up there. Why are you doing this to yourself? And you start really getting on her. And then she yells and screams back at you, I need a private life, and you can't tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah. Remind her that she did this video. Remind her that she put this out there, that she chose to do it. Nobody forced her to do it. That once again, she's oversharing. Just remind her that she put this forward and that you've simply responded with the things that she's provided. So really, she has no reason to be angry. She's oversharing, and people are just simply reacting to the information provided. You can't get mad at people for just giving their opinions, Foodie.
there. And I was just like, I understand that because like women my age and typically with a large belly, they probably are most of the times pregnant here, but um whatever, I didn't take offense to that,
Yes, she did. Yeah,
and
yes, she did. Yes, she did. She's a liar. She's a liar. Yes, she did. And we know she got offended and she was touchy and sensitive because when she was in Thailand and she met the mother with her child who remarked on her weight, she was all kinds of butthurt. She kept going on and on and on and on about it. So since she was that touchy and sensitive over that woman in Thailand, you know that they kind of had to hurt her pride. People asking repeatedly, "Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant?" And she's not.
they were really nice. And but it's
You know what? Your mouth says one thing, your eyes say another. I can tell by your expression you were not happy with that.
not fun being in another country, and I'm supposed to be like living up my life, you know, because I'm not getting any younger, and when I get too old, won't be able to do any of these things. So I want to do things now. So I have to focus on my health journey, and has to happen.
I
So
wouldn't call it a health journey until you start going somewhere. You talk about it, but you're not being about it. A health journey means you're ready to walk. You're ready to go someplace, do something new, change things. You're not ready. You don't have the willpower, you don't have the ambition, the determination, and you're not trying to find any of those things. You've given up, you've surrendered to your problems versus solving your problems. You just put yourself in your own rut. I don't know why you just can't admit it.
inshallah, um, I'll be able to pull through. I think if I ate something really bad for me, I would feel so guilty and scared of what it's doing to my body now that I've seen the doctor because of the salt and the urine thing and more organ damage and my blood sugar, like they were like alarmed at my blood sugar level. He's like, "That's your blood sugar with fasting?" And then I think of
Yeah, and you know what? They should have been sending you to the hospital.
like the sub I ate with all the salty processed meat on it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway, that's about it.
You know what you were doing. You wanted to make a mukbang for all the food fetish people, and you wanted to have your food, and you wanted to have a B moment on camera, and you didn't give a doggone what it was doing to your body. And you know what your body is telling you right now? F around and find out, Chantal. Find out. And you are finding out, and you're not liking it.
So that's my diagnosis, that's my experience, and I appreciate you guys listening to me in my on my journey. Um, I don't want to hear people like berating the doctor I saw because he's a doctor. Most people online are not, and I know he's gonna get a lot of backlash for telling me not to do keto because people who are like, well, I lost this much weight and I've never felt healthy.
I don't know this gentleman doctor. I don't think anybody should be contacting him because if Chantal went to a doctor, we don't know what she said. We don't know what happened in that room. Knowing Chantal, she lied her tail off. And I'm pretty sure she did not tell the doctor about her extreme issue with food and the fact that she's got a YouTube channel and she has B moments on camera for profit, I'm sure she left those parts out. That he was just simply operating under whatever information he had. So I don't support anybody being unnecessarily harassed. He's just a physician trying to do his job. And knowing Chantal, she lied to that man.
Healthier, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm going to follow what this doctor says, and that's it. So, anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Yeah, whatever. And the next video is probably going to be a mukbang. The next video is probably going to be a mukbang. Yeah, so Wistfully says also 414 down to 213. The insulin worked. Yep, sure did. Let's see. There are people in her comments saying, go home. No one wants to see her pass away. Everybody's telling her to go home. She just won't go home because she can't take Salah with her. She doesn't want to be in Canada by herself. All right, so I've got like a subfolder question. So she went to the doctor and she had all these tests on her organs, which is fine. What about her eyes? She's a diabetic, and diabetes can affect your eyesight. You can literally go blind from diabetes. When is the last time Chantal has had her eyes checked? I mean, eyesight is important. I would think she need to go get her eyes checked too. It's been quite a while since she got her eyes checked, but hey, it's her health, it's her eyesight. She's got to decide what's important to her. I'm just here to give my react. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. And if you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you guys so much for being here. And please have a good night. Bye now.